just about anything else. Just don't be mean to me. That's all I ask. um, I am excited today. Here I am coming back to you via the social media app Haps. The reason I'm using Haps is because it can throw my media to several other places, such as Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. It can go to every other social media that I own all at once. The only downside is that I cannot see you unless you send me a message. Hey Dave, how are you? So good to see you. Um, I just wanted to touch base with you guys today because I am no well, I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it, Caleb. I I'm a YouTuber. I've been a YouTuber since YouTube basically started. And being an older YouTuber, honestly, I've watched it go from the ground up. I've seen people go from nobodies to being huge, huge influencers on YouTube. Some people deserved it, some people didn't. Let's just put it that way. So, it really bothers me when people become influencers. Oh, okay, Caleb. Some people become influencers and then they are just bullied because it's just the thing to do. Let's bully them because it's the best thing in the world to do is bully them. Well, most of you may realize that she's not my biggest. I'm not the biggest fan of her for many reasons, but um, they've come down hard on Colleen Ballinger. Now, Colleen has a character, and her name is watch me draw a blank. Miranda Sings, who cannot sing. Colleen has a very beautiful voice. She can sing opera. She can sing just about anything she wants to. But her character cannot sing herself out of a bucket. I mean, she just sings out of tune. She sings horribly. She's very rude. The character is not very nice. She's just way out of left field. She's a very strange character. Well, apparently, Colleen now has made the black community angry because she's using Afrikanese language that apparently the African youth have decided to make a new language, and Colleen looked it up and therefore used it to say something about TikTok. I need to say something about this. Everybody and their brother has created something to make themselves perfectly abnormal. This language is the biggest bunch of garbage I've ever seen in my life because they took the word yeet directly from the word yurt, which yurt is something that used to be said in a town that I used to live in. It's the most stupid word I've ever heard in my life. And it's broken English. If you think that that is something fantastic to talk like, y'all need to go back to school. I mean, just because she used your broken English language and now you're going to call her out on it because she used your broken English. Oh, and it's yours. You're the only one that can use this language. Then I'd like to see the documentation where it says you're the only people that can use this language. You're the only people that can ever speak like this. You're the only people that can ever, ever, ever use this language. Because let me tell you something, I have about had it with people that create languages and that say they can only be the ones that use it. French people are French, but Americans speak French. I just don't understand. I'm at my breaking point with the African community trying to start a fuss over something. And I want to say an expletive here. Blank, please, is what I'm trying to say right here. I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired over the argumentation of what words should be used where and who should be allowed to use what terms. How about we don't use any terms at all and people speak complete English when they speak? Instead of using broken English, how about we all speak English? If you're living in the United States and you're an American citizen, how about you use your Americanized English and you use it like it's meant to be said? I'm sorry, not sorry. I'm done with it. I'm so done with it. That's why I'm upset, because now they're jumping onto this girl who did a post in the broken English language, and they're crawling her because of it. I'm just over it. I don't even like Colleen because of some things that happened in her past. I dislike the situation that happened to her in her past. Okay, I happen to like her ex-husband a lot because I was done similar. I was done in a similar manner. I can't even talk now. I was done in a similar way. Hey, Carlinda. To the way her husband was done, that I kind of feel for her husband, her ex-husband. So for me, and me personally, I dislike her as a person. Should she be attacked for how she speaks? No, I don't think so. Because how many people go on there, how many men go on there and use that same kind of broken English that are white, that have never been attacked? The problem was she looked it up and she spoke that way. I don't see the big deal. It's the same as somebody looking up French and typing in French. That's what makes me angry. It's like, I'm just over it. I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired of everybody getting their panties in a wad over, somebody using a word or something that's going to offend the black community. Well, y'all need to get your panties out of your wad and start living. If I complained every time I was offended by something somebody said, I'd never have a life. Never. Oh, it's a general topic tonight. I was just angry because they've jumped on to Colleen Ballinger. Well, her last name's not Ballinger now, but Colleen Ballinger, because she took some Africanized wording that the African American community has taken the language, our English language, and made it broken English and has made it into this kind of language. And because she chose to do a Twitter topic that way, they jumped all over her and said that she's not allowed to speak that way because that's their language. It's called Africanized something. It's Africanized English or something like that. It's a language that was created 3 years ago. What? It's called broken English. It's called ignorance is what it's called. It's called, how about you learn how to spell and learn how to talk and use your own language? If you live here, start speaking English. Basically, it's speaking in text form. That's all it is. They've decided they want to speak in text form. And then they wanted to jump all over Colleen because Colleen's white and she spoke in their language, their broken language form. Now they're all pissed off because she had the audacity to speak in their language, which is not even their language. Oh, Lord Jesus, help me. I'm going to have a heart attack. It just, It just really offends me. Because of the ignorance of it all. I'm not talking about race in that sense, Carlinda. I'm not talking about somebody's color. I'm talking about their words. I'm talking about a group of people, and I'm talking about young people. Not talking about people as, and I don't hate anybody, Carlinda, and you don't know that about me. I mean, I don't hate anybody. But when people take words like American words, like English, basic English, and they break it down and change it into something totally different, and then say, oh, you can't talk like that because we made our own language out of that. How dare you speak that way? And then turn it around on her to make her look bad. I'm sorry. That bothers me. And I don't judge people for that. I mean, I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair to anybody. I don't think that's fair to the African American community. I don't think that's fair to the white community. I really don't. And I'm not saying that because I think that's different. And congratulations to you. I'm glad that you have a son and a boyfriend. I don't care what color they are. I'm happy that you're happy. But if you don't want to be here because you have black people in your family, I completely 100% honestly agree with you if you don't want to feel comfortable in being here. But this is not hating on blacks. I don't want you to think that. This is about taking the English language and turning it into something else. It's what I don't understand. So I don't want to offend you, Carlinda. That is not my intent. And I completely understand. Hey, Eric. So I don't want to upset you, Carlinda. I want you to be honest with me. If I made you offended, please tell me now because I don't want you to be mad at me or hate me without me knowing about it because I would like for you to be honest with me. I don't want anybody to hide that from me. And I'm glad you told me that you had a black son and a black boyfriend. I don't change my views. I'm not going to change my views. I'm not a bigot. I would hope people know that, even though I live in the South and, I've grown up around people that just have a disdain for, black folk. I don't have that. It's that when there is a disconnect between the English language and the language being butchered, and then somebody saying you can't use that language because we turned it into something that we can use, that it just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. That was my issue, and that's my only issue. And it was more like children that said, and I don't really know um, the whole backstory, but it just really bothered me. That was the first thing. The second thing that got to me was, what was the second thing I was going to bring to y'all today? What was it? There was something else I was going to bring to you. No, they didn't call this Ebonics. No, this wasn't called Ebonics. They call it Ebonics. Other black people call each other the M word to each other. White people say that it's different. Why? Then we get called racist. Okay. I know what Ebonics is. This is not called Ebonics. They called this something else. Let me see if I can find it real quick, Carlinda. so that I can back up what I'm talking about, because it was something different. Because I want to be able to be honest with you and tell you exactly what it was. Okay, give me just a second because I have to find out what the name of it is. I have to listen in on my headphones because I don't have any audio. Well, I appreciate that, Carlinda, because this has not got anything to do with um, people's color. I mean, it's about people using the English language to their own agenda, and it's like, wait a minute, this is kind of weird, like, I mean, even I've taken, like when I was younger, I had my own language. Like we would take and make up our own ciphers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Hold on. He's going to tell me what it is here in just a second. It's called AVE, which stands for um, hold on. Hold on, I'm getting it. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying. That's why I got so upset. And I'm trying to get the information. So give me just a minute because African American Vernacular English. That makes no sense whatsoever. Okay. African American Vernacular English, also referred to as Black Vernacular, Black English Vernacular, Black Vernacular English, occasionally as Ebonics. I've never heard of this. Now, I've heard of Ebonics, okay? But this goes beyond Ebonics, Carlinda. Way beyond Ebonics. Because some of these words were not in the Ebonics like list. Like I've heard Ebonics words before. But here's my question. And this is just a serious I have a serious question. Why is it that if they're going to school to learn just the way we do, they don't speak like we do? When I know for a fact that they can. Hi, Willie. And I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm saying that I know some people that are better speakers than I am. That's what I'm trying, Carlinda. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. It says, and I'm going to read to you what her Twitter said, okay? And this is what really threw me. Okay. Okay, this is what her Twitter said. I'm doing well, Willie. Thank you. It said, yo, brah, TikTok's so lit. No cap. Hold on. I got to look up this. I got to see this a little bit closer. I'm going to yeet over there so fast, low key. If I don't get on FYP, which is For You page, I'll be big mad and big yikes like it. That's high key, not straight fire, so sus, but low key at fire, TikTok, so lit and go. Yes, let it be. I get that. But here's the deal. We live in a day and age when I can understand people speaking in Ebonics, okay? Ebonically, right? And I've heard Black people speak Ebonically, and I don't have a problem with that. But when they're taking this, like this right here that Colleen posted, she went online and she just looked up a way to speak like kids speak today. She posted it as a cool mom posting like kids speak today. She didn't post it like I'm going to speak Ebonically. That's not what she did. So they took what she posted and twisted it around saying she was trying to be like, like Black people, quote unquote, like Black people. So they made this. No, this is not a Facebook post. This is a Twitter post. And so they, and I have to say, I'm not one of her biggest fans, but the problem I have with it is that one, if, and again, I have nothing against the Black people at all. I don't, because, I did say Twitter. My problem is that even in the African American, and I don't even like saying African American because they're Americans if they live here, even in the black culture and in the Black race, I know that mothers want their sons and daughters to speak better. They want them to speak better. They want them to speak, they want them to be better. And I know that for a fact. And I know a lot of families where they wanted their children to speak better than they wanted them to have better educations than they had. So they wanted them to have better, speech than they did. They wanted them to do better. So this Ebonics, I mean, yeah, I can see it talking, like to their friends and stuff, they speak Ebonically. But for them to speak Ebonically 24/7, 365, that's a problem, because I hear it all the time through text and in phone calls and stuff. And it really bothers me. Like, if kids are going to school and getting educations, then how is that possible? How is it possible? Because I've seen kids that are in high school that type Ebonically, that talk Ebonically, that write Ebonically. How are they passing school? That's what I want to know. And it's got nothing to do with bigotry. It's got everything to do. Ebonics, yes, big time. It's got nothing to do with me being a bigot or anything. I'm just wondering if they're doing this, if they're still being, if they're still Ebonically speaking to this degree, how are they graduating high school? How are they graduating college? I mean, and it's an honest question. I'm just asking. I mean, I'm not the best speller in the world, and I believe you me, I've got a spell checker on my computer so that it catches all the words that I misspell. But I mean, I'm Southern, so I say things that are not. I am too, Willie. We had to learn how to speak we had to stand up and give like oral book reports. I do. Well, I did. I had friends that spoke that way. I bet you anything I'd go out today and hear it. Yeah, Willie. I mean, when I was growing up, we had to do oral book reports. We had to write everything out handwritten. We had to learn how to speak well. It's like they've not ingrained it in, and I'm not just talking about black people, I'm talking about other races as well. It's other races speak the way they want to as well. So I mean, it's not just the black race. I mean, it's got, you know, I don't know French. I never took French in school. I wasn't gifted in I was very afraid to take other languages because I was afraid I would fail. I was terrified that I wasn't good enough to do anything in high school. So I'm not afraid to say that now. But I was not blessed enough to be able to take a foreign language in school because I was afraid I'd fail. And I could not graduate. That was my biggest thing. I was like, I have to graduate high school. So we did not take a foreign language in school. Well, that's the thing, Carlinda. And I'm not trying to be mean. Like I said, I would never make fun of anybody. Never would I ever make fun of anybody's color, race, or creed. But when it comes down to people speaking this way, and I have heard people use this type of speech, do you think if they're going to crawl this woman, Colleen Ballinger, for just a text that she made as a joke, just as a joke, I have actually heard people talk this way. It's almost disconcerting because I've heard young adults speak this way, and it's like, how are you graduating school? I don't know. It just really bothered me. I didn't want to make a big deal out of it. I just wanted to ask the question, like, how are they graduating school? How are they getting through school? Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, and this is something I've never understood. When I first started online, you would have people in chat that would use Ebonics to talk with. They'd spell the words ebonically. And I'm a person that you have to spell stuff out. I do not accept Ebonic spelling. And I'll tell you why. Because most of the people I was talking to were people that were still in school or going to college. And I'm like, you guys need to be able to spell this out because you cannot do that on a college paper. You can't do that on a resume. Well, I'm in a hurry. I said, if you're going to rush and send me a text, then I'm not worth the time for you to take to actually send a thoughtful message where you can't take time to think out how to spell a word. I'm not worth it. Then don't bother sending me a message. That was my thing. If you're going to use Ebonics when you talk to me, then I'm not worth the time. Then don't bother. And I mean, I had several guy friends that were, black, and they would speak Ebonics to me all the time. And I'm like, stop. Don't do that. I would rather you take the time and write things out to me so that knocking things over. So that, one, I understood what they were saying. I mean, I could understand most of it. But these guys were graduating college. Hey, Collins. They were graduating college and they were going out into the workforce. And I'm like, dude, you're getting ready to go to work. You have got to work. Like, some of these guys are going to be lawyers and some of these guys are going to be working in the business field. And I'm like, if you're going to talk like this to me and you said you're busy, you're going to screw up and send this to somebody else. You best start learning with me how to speak, how to type out, hello, or what are you doing? Or is there something I can do to help you instead of using Ebonics all the time? Because Ebonics speaking is not going to help you when you're sending a letter to someone, regarding, whether they want to buy from your company or something. That was my big thing. And I tried to encourage them not to use Ebonics when they wrote their letters. That was my big thing. I encouraged the guys that were coming out of college to not use Ebonics. It wasn't that I didn't want them to use the language that they spoke. It was that if you're going to go to work, you need to be able to speak properly to people that are in the business that you're going into. And law is one thing where they're not going to accept you speaking Ebonics. They're just not. And so you have to dig your heels in and do the work. And so some of them got it, some of them didn't, and it wasn't that I was trying to be mean to anybody. I was just trying to impress upon them that when you go to work and you're working in the real world, you can speak Ebonics after you get settled and you've gotten your job and you're talking to some guys around the coffee, the coffee pot or around the water stand. But when you're in the room with a client and you're talking to them, unless they're, unless they play football or they're a homie, and I'm not saying that to be rude or judgmental. I'm saying unless you two know each other or you're really comfortable with them, Ebonics is not how you're going to want to talk to a client. They're going to want to hear English. They're going to want to hear it. I'm telling you, girl, I'm not even joking. These guys could not speak proper English to save their life. If you think I'm lying, and God knows my heart, they couldn't. They couldn't make one sentence without using an ebonically made word. And I begged them. I said, just one sentence. Just write me one sentence where there's no Ebonics in it. And for the life of them, this one guy, he couldn't do it at all. Now, this had been years ago. And I said, dude, you're going to have to go back and you're going to, because I'm pretty sure he had a tutor that corrected his stuff, corrected him on everything so that they taught him how to correct stuff. That's what I'm saying, Carlinda. And look, what you do behind closed doors and to your friends is none of my concern. You can talk to me that way when we're outside of, whatever. I don't care. But when it's something important, it's just not like I wouldn't go in and start saying, hey, what's going on? Are you having a good day? I wouldn't talk honey, sugar, sweetheart. Oh, hey, sweetheart, are you having a great day? I certainly hope you are. Is there anything I can do for you, darling? No. It'd be, hello, Mr. or Miss. How are you doing today? After I got to know them, after they got to know me, it might be, hello, Mr. or Miss. How are you doing today? I really hope so. I would open up a little bit more, but there's a certain way you handle how you speak. Even I have a certain way I speak, and you guys know that. I'm not saying it's the best way, but I mean, I have a professional way I talk. If you've noticed, the way I pick up the phone and answer it is one way. It's just that as we grow up, we have to learn. And that they made this whole other language. It just blew my mind. And then got mad at this woman because she used it to become one of the people. It is called proper protocol. Thank you, Carlinda. She was just trying to reach more people with using, what the language is being used right now. And they crawled her for it. There's certain words that, white people are not allowed to use. And now they're saying white people aren't allowed to use these words. But who made that decision? I'm not saying that we shouldn't be allowed to use the N-word, which that's a long, lengthy. I'm not arguing with that one. But these other words, who made them the end all be all of who could use these words? Are you the English police? You know what I'm saying? Are you the English police? Did you go out and decide that you're the only ones that can use these words in any way, shape, or form, any way you choose? I just don't see it. And I can't remember what the other thing was that made me mad. Let me think for a minute. What was the other thing? So y'all think about that one because that one really, really, really ticked me off. What was the other thing that made me mad? Let me look through my list of people I was watching on YouTube. It had to have been a YouTube video. Hmm. Hmm. Well, I can't see what it was. I knew there was something else I wanted to talk about tonight. Well, thank you, Willie. It's nice to talk to you too. I'm sorry it's been a while. I'm looking at my subscriptions here on YouTube to see if I can figure out what it was that made me mad. Let's see. Give me a minute. I'm still looking. Mm-hmm. Oh, I want your all's opinion on this Josh Duggar incident. What do you guys think about Josh Duggar being arrested? I know I haven't talked to you guys much, but how do y'all feel about his arrest? Yeah, I'm like, what took him so long? That was my question. I was looking to see if I had any more videos to watch. I've got a ton of videos to watch. Okay, I'm trying to find if there was any one particular thing. Hmm. I'm looking, guys. Let's see here. Well, I don't see it. There was something I was going to talk to you guys about. It was pretty important because I'd been thinking about it and I thought, well, I might as well talk about it. He was arrested for having a sexual encounter with a minor. It was his sister's, I believe. Wasn't that it, guys? But it wasn't just his sister's. Let me see here. She's got it linked to the story, so let me look it up for sure. I can't remember because one case was so long ago. Oh, he's well, he's awaited on trial charges that he downloaded and possessed child porn. What a great guy. Um, let's see. But he still can't go home to his wife and kids. He'll be released tomorrow on the 6th and be confined to the home of longtime friends of his parents who have agreed to be his custodian during his release. Yeah, it is. He can see his kids, but only in the presence of his wife, Anna. He cannot have any contact with any other minor children, including his younger siblings, his siblings, his siblings' children, and the children of friends. Following a 3-hour virtual detention hearing Wednesday, the U.S. District Judge Christy Comstock also barred Duggar, 33, from any internet-accessible devices or viewing any kind of pornography or erotica pending his July trial on child pornography charges. He was arrested on 2 charges last week, appeared virtually in court Friday, and pleaded. I'm telling y'all, that's something else that makes me mad. Instead of using the word pled instead of pleaded, it said Friday, and he pleaded not guilty. It's pled. He pled not guilty to 2 counts of downloading and possessing images and videos depicting sexual abuse of minor children, some as young as toddlers. How sick is that? Mm-hmm. He's got kids. He has got children. Yes, Sonny, very, very bad. I can't even. So that's something else that really gets to me too. Is that's just the sickness. Though people like that are just sick. Just sick. He's a sick man. Sick, sick man. Oh, that's awful. Anyway, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. I can't think of what else I was going to talk to y'all about tonight. I'm sorry that I kind of went off on that one. Yes, he does. I think anybody that's got any kind of thinking brain, any idea to hurt a child needs to have everything that can possibly assault a child with cut off. That means if his mouth will offend, they need to sew it shut. Call me crazy, but that's the way I feel. May seem harsh, but I don't know. But I love you guys. I'm sorry I hadn't been on in the last few days. I have been dealing with having a cute little boy at my house, and he is sort of like crazy and wild, and I can't be on camera when he's here. No, not so far. My headaches have been limited because Jake's been here, and I guess because I have higher serotonin levels, my headaches have not been that bad. I've had headaches, but they've not been as bad as they were. I haven't needed to take. I had to take extra meds one day, but I didn't get nauseous real bad. We had him Sunday and Monday, and So you can email me, and I'll put the email address right here. Well, if I can get the keys to work right. That would be the fastest way right now, Carlinda, to email me, and I can give you a way to get in touch with me that way. It'd be that's the quickest way right now, because with my phone, it's really difficult. I don't really get on my phone that much because of my head. My head hurts so bad. Right now, I'm starting to get another one. It's just kind of starting right here. Um, yeah, it did. Did I not? Did I not post that, Sonny? I meant to, honey. I do have a Facebook, but I do not use my Facebook. I have it. I post things on Facebook time to time, but I don't use it like every day. I just go in there and post things like once a month or once every other 3 months or something like that, but I do not use it. I don't. So if I added you on Facebook, I would not be looking at your Facebook, or I wouldn't be acknowledging it. And that's kind of sad. That's why I tell people to email me, because they would be more apt to be able to talk to me directly. That's what I try to tell people. It's just easier if you actually email me. How's this mic working? Does it sound okay? Put the shield over it where the fan's blowing. Maybe that'll help a little bit. No, the candle came without any problems or anything, Sonny. It's beautiful. And it smells incredible. But I love you guys. I will try to be back tomorrow. The reason I don't do it every day is because I really don't have anything to talk about. And so I'm just be sitting here doing nothing, like twiddling my thumbs. And I know y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want me to sit here twiddling my thumbs. So I might try to come up with a case to talk about tomorrow or something. Who knows? Who knows? But I love you guys. I will talk to you guys soon. Remember to share the love I share with you with someone else, and smile at somebody. You never know if that smile might just change somebody's life. I love y'all, and I will see you guys later. Bye, guys. Mwah.